Stop posting about baller. My friends on Discord send me baller. My friends on Dueling Book send me baller. Oh my god, this joke is not funny enough. We'll get him next time. Good afternoon, Jank enthusiasts. I'm MBT, and this is 10-Minute Testing. It's finally here. Cyberstorm Access releases this month, which means we can stop scraping the dregs of Photon Hypernova for content. No more generator. No more evil eye. Finally, we can talk about decks that might actually be good. And we're going to start, K-Kona, with the only one that's available exclusively in the United States of America. And Europe. Presenting Gold Pride Punk. So here's the list, and I'm going to be honest with you, I did not use one brain cell while constructing this list. It builds itself. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the #1 place to go if you need a pack simulator, a card database, or want to read a wealth of strategy articles. They also post breakdowns and lists from every major TCG and Master Duel tournament, including the Master Circuit series. Give them a look at www.ygoprodeck.com. With that, let's get into Gold Pride. Gold Pride is a series of TCG exclusives based off of the 7th JoJo series. Last time these cards got revealed, a lot of nerds tried to tell me that actually it was a reference to Redline. That was compelling until they literally released a man covered in steel running on a ball. Anyway, this series of monsters can be special summoned from the hand, provided you have less life points than your opponent, and then they can get an additional effect. Leon can quick synchro, Carrie can add a trap card to hand, and Nitro Head can summon, then pop a token. This archetype's obvious synergy with the P.U.N.K engine made it a decent rogue option out of the gate, especially for everyone's favorite cocky fuck Nim Nim. Unfortunately, as Cash Tira builds became more streamlined, it became clear that we were going to have to rely on this archetype's second wave of support to save it. And holy shit, it actually did for once. Gold Pride got 4 new insanely powerful cards in Cyberstorm Access. First up, Baller. This 5-star Gold Pride, great for levels who can fusion summon Pinballer on your opponent's turn. This fusion monster on summons sucks up your opponent's field, relinquished style, and unrespondably. Chariot Carry ensures you have access to your Gold Prides, even if you only draw the P.U.N.K half of your deck, and Crowd Goes Wild and Better Luck Next Time are search spells that cost you life points, turning on your entire strategy. Now that it's more consistent, you also have much more room for non-engine. We're playing 13, and you still retain access to a bunch of cards that some decks just do not have an out for, like Psychic and Punisher. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, our Gold Prides. 3 copies of Gold Pride Roller Baller. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand, and during the main phase as a quick effect, you can fusion summon a Gold Pride fusion monster from your extra, using monsters from your hand or field as material. Next up is Gold Pride Captain Carry. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if it's normally special summoned, you can add a Gold Pride Trap from your deck to your hand. If it's sent to the graveyard, you can target a Gold Pride monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck, banish up to 3 Gold Pride cards from your graveyard, and if you do, that monster gains 500 attack for each card banished in this way. Gold Pride Leon, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, allows you to special summon this card from your hand, and if it's normally special summoned, you can target a non-warrior Gold Pride monster in your graveyard, special it in defense, and you can't special summon monsters from the extra for the rest of the turn except Gold Prides. During your opponent's main phase, you can, after this effect resolves, synchro summon a synchro using only Gold Pride monsters you control. Finally, we're playing 1 copy of Nitro Head, which is not very good. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can special summon this card from your hand, and during your opponent's standby phase, you can special summon a Nitro token to your opponent's field, but it can't be used as link material, and during your opponent's main phase, you can target a Nitro token, destroy that token, and destroy all cards in adjacent monster zones and spell and trap zones. After that, we've got the Punks. We are way lower on these. 3 copies of Noah Punk Foxy Toon, 3 copies of Z-Yamen, 1 copy of Deer Note, and 1 copy of Shirakusai. After that, we are on The Crowd Goes Wild, which allows you to reveal a Gold Pride in your hand, add Gold Pride with a different name from your deck to your hand, then special summon a Gold Pride from your hand and lose life points equal to its original attack. We're playing 3 copies of Emergency Teleport, followed by 3 copies of Gold Pride. Better Luck Next Time. When this is activated, you can add a Gold Pride from your deck to your hand and lose life points equal to its attack, and if a face-up Gold Pride monster you control that was special summoned from the extra deck returns to the extra deck, you can draw a card. You can only activate one of these per turn, and that second effect is unfortunately a hard once. Speaking of cards that don't have hard onces, however, we have Gold Pride Start Your Engines. If your opponent normally special summons a monster, target one of them, reveal 3 Gold Pride monsters from your deck. Your opponent randomly picks one for you to special summon, and the rest are shuffled back in before the monster is destroyed. After that, we've got a Called by the Grave. triple Ash Blossom, triple Droll and Lockbird, get used to seeing this, triple Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit, and triple Infinite Impermanence in the extra. We've got Gold Pride Pinballer. If it's fusion summoned, you can equip face-up monsters your opponent controls to it up to the number of materials you used, and you can only use that effect once per turn. Also, if your life points are lower than your opponent's, it can't be negated. Once per turn during the end phase, if the previous effect was activated this turn, this card is returned to the extra deck, and you can summon a Roller Baller from your deck or graveyard. We're of course playing Rising Carp, Pep, Amazing Dragon, Dragite, Dragon Drive, Metaphys Horus, Gold Pride Star Leon from the previous set, Divine Arsenal AA Zeus, 2 copies of Chariot Carry. This is a generic 3. You can detach material from this card to add a Gold Pride spell from your deck to your hand. Then if your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can send a Gold Pride from your deck to the graveyard. That is a once per turn, and then once per turn during the end phase. If it was activated this turn, it's returned to the extra deck, and you can special summon a Gold Pride Captain Carry from your deck or graveyard. We're on a Fortune Tune to make Zeus easier, access code Unicorn and IP Masquerena. In the side, we're on Kaiju's Kurikara, Cosmic Cyclone, Evenly Matched, and Anti-Spell Fragrance. So with that, let's jump into the games. Because I expect this deck to be actually decent, we're going to start at the top with Tira. We're going first, and our hand looks incredible. We're going to begin with a copy of Emergency Teleport to get a Xiamen. We'll activate Xiamen's effect, paying 600 to grab a Foxy Tune. Next, we'll activate the effect of the Foxy Tune, and down comes Ash Blossom. No big deal. We still have everything we need. We're going to go for the better luck next time and get a copy of Leon. Then we're going to special summon this copy of Carry. We'll activate the effect of the Carry to get a copy of Start Your Engines before we overlay for Chariot Carry. Chariot Carry will trigger here to get a copy of The Crowd Goes Wild. That'll allow us to get from deck to hand another Carry. We will go for the Leon here and then activate the Leon effect to bring back the Nitro Head in graveyard. Then we'll go for Roller Baller, set 1 card, and pass turn. At end step, that Chariot Carry is going back to the extra, cycling for a carry and triggering the effect of the better luck next time. We will draw as well. Our opponent draws for turn, and like most cash hands, this one really relies on a singular monster. They're going to go Proud of Prosperity here. They can't immediately summon this copy of Fenrir because we gave them a token during the standby phase. They find off the top a copy of Birth, so they probably will be taking that. They're going to activate Birth, and then afterwards they can normal summon this copy of Fenrir. Unfortunately, that is fine for Start Your Engines. We will destroy that. Then at Resolution, we can trigger the effect of the Captain Carry we summoned to get another copy from deck. Next, they're going to activate Tasking in order to get a copy of Triple Tactic Talents. They're going to activate that in order to take Roller Baller, but we can still use Leon to go into removal, so that when they birth back this copy of Fenrir, we can activate Star Leon in order to send that sucker back to the graveyard. They'll pass turn, we'll lose Star Leon, trigger the effect of both Leon and this better luck next time to draw a card and summon back one of our monsters. From here, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal. What's the funniest way we can do it? Well, Psychic End to Punisher, probably. We'll go into a Roller Baller, and then we'll activate the effect of the Leon in hand, summoning itself, activate Pep in order to banish our on-field copy of Carry and Birth, and then we'll proceed to the battle phase, triggering the effect of the Punisher to go to 8100, and we'll one-shot our opponent. Our second match is up against Monodium, and this game showcases that this deck has a little bit of trouble against the balls-to-the-wall, going first combo decks that will populate the format. Our opponents begin with a copy of Terraforming. They're going to set the field spell, we will Ash Blossom, and they will Frame Gear Gamma. Get excited for this to determine the outcome of a ton of games this upcoming format. I do not like when Gamma is playable. They're going to go for a copy of Omega, then trigger the effect of the Omega in order to take one of the cards out of our hand. Next, they'll go Meek into Ruim Heart. That's going to trigger both the Ruim Heart and the Meek and the field spell in order to summon a Meek and Ruim Heart Resolve in order to grab an Obsession. They'll go for that in order to send that Meek to the graveyard for the counter trap and trigger the Meek as well for a third copy. Next, they're going to go for Obsession here in order to special summon the Reich-Heart. They'll trigger the effect of the Reich-Heart for a Scareclaw card, and oh, they drew a Droll as well. Next up is Ass Dragon and Dispater before going into Lightheart in order to grab the Reichphobia. Reichphobia is going to grab from deck to hand a copy of Vsauce, and then Dispater will loop back the Omega for an additional card out of the hand. Oh boy, I love starting my turn with 3 cards under a Droll and Lockbird. Our opponent's going to go for Vsauce here, and then Synchro summon a Baron de Fleur, go into Cross Sheep, summon a copy of Vicious Stroud, trigger Cross Sheep, bring back Meek, go into Changing, set 1, and pass. This is not going to happen. We're going to begin with a copy of Emergency Teleport going for Xiamen, and if the negation doesn't get you, the Droll and Lockbird certainly will. They're not even drolling. Come on, don't BM me. They're going to go Dispater here, and then at point of resolution, we can normal summon a copy of Shirakusai and try and get our Zeus on. Main phase 2, we will go into the Zeus, activate the effect. Unsurprisingly, that's going to bait out the counter trap. It's time to go for the Baller. They're going to go Reframing in Graveyard as Chainlink 2, so at point of resolution, they are able to trigger the effect of the Changing and banish our Baller. Okay, well, not close. So it's time for game 3, and you know what that means, a best of 3 versus meta. Our opponent's playing Super Heavy Samurai, and we've opened Droll and Lockbird, so one guess as to how this one turns out. We're going to begin with a copy of Sharakusai. Other than the Droll, this is kind of a sussy hand, but it does get there. We'll go for Rising Carp to get a copy of Deer Note and a copy of Xiamen. Afterwards, we'll trigger the effect of the Xiamen in order to grab from deck to hand a copy of Foxy Tune. We'll go into a Dragon Drive. Dragon Drive here is going to add the hand trap best in the world against Super Heavy Samurai, Ghost Ogre, and Snow Rabbit. After that, we're going to go for the Leon, and then we'll overlay for a copy of Chariot Carry. We'll activate the effect of Chariot Carry in order to grab a Better Luck next time, which we will be saying to our opponent momentarily. We'll special summon the Captain Carry and trigger the effect in order to grab a Start Your Engines. Then we will go ahead and set a couple of cards, go to the end phase, trigger the effect of the Chariot Carry, summon another carry, and then trigger the effect of the Better Luck next time, drawing another hand trap off the top. Don't mind if I do. Opponent's going to begin with a copy of Bike. That's fine. At point of resolution, we will go ahead and fire Droll. Good luck for the rest of the turn. They're going to go Wakaushi. I guess we can go ahead and Ghost Ogre that as well. Next, they're going to normal summon a copy of Soul Piercer and go into Scarecrow. They're going to activate Scarecrow. We will infinite and permanence it. And then at point of resolution, they're going to go for a Spy. That Spy is going to bait out our Start Your Engines, but they're going to chain it in order to take the infip. I mean, it's cool. Doesn't do anything, but it's cool. We'll go for the Baller, and then at point of resolution, we'll activate Baller in order to go into a second Baller, Pin Baller taking our opponent's monster, at which point they'll go to the end phase. We'll activate Pin Baller in order to put it back in the extra deck and grab a Roller Baller. Can't draw here because of Droll, and afterwards we're going to go for a Foxy Tune in main phase. We're going to summon a Xiamen. We'll activate the effect of our Psychic End Punisher in order to banish the Captain Carry and the Infinite Impermanence. They will chain it. We will chain Roller Baller in order to go into Pin Baller. This is just damage on the board. We'll go for Captain Carry here for an additional 15. We'll go to the battle phase, trigger the effect of Pep, and get in for well over lethal. So it's time for game 2, and oh wow, Droll and Lockbird versus all the non-engine in the world. Okay, our opponent's going to begin with a copy of Fenrir, and playing around Droll and Lockbird, going to go Soul Piercer next. They'll go Soul Piercer, and afterwards we will activate Droll and Lockbird. So they get to make Regulus here, equipped with a Soul Piercer, which is really good. They have a Banish and a Negate, and our hand is looking pretty bad. We'll go for the Foxy Tune here, and the Ash Blossom checks it. Oh no. Okay, so we have to emergency teleport here for a copy of Xiamen, but we can't really activate the effect. We have to normal summon a Captain Carry, go to Chariot Carry, go to the battle phase. We get to walk over the Scarecrow. We can activate Chariot Carry. That's going to be met with a Regulus, but no big deal. Afterwards, we can make a Zeus, but they're going to get to add a card from deck to hand with Soul Piercer. Unfortunately, the Zeus only checks the Fenrir. They're going to activate it in main phase 1. We let it resolve, and then they'll proceed to the combat step. We have to Zeus here because they're going to be able to Fenrir it away, and then at point of resolution, they can just do their entire combo. They go Wakaushi here, and this is maybe extremely greedy, though we have Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit in hand. I save it for the big P.U.N.K because Wakaushi isn't really an extender. They're going to go for a Bike here. We will Ash it, and then at point of resolution, they're going to activate Wakaushi, and I'm thinking to myself, what the heck? That locks you into super heavies. What are you doing? They're going to bring back Soul Piercer to go into Scarecrow. They're going to trigger the effect of the Soul Piercer for another Bike, and oh my god, what is that? Okay, we lose. So it's time for that all-important game 3, and oh, we bricked. Okay, well, at least we have Anti-Spell Fragrance. That's pretty good against the Wakaushi deck, I expect. We'll flip it up, and our opponent is going to, unfortunately, have to pass turn. Right? They're going to pass turn. No, they're going to go for Booster on Wakaushi. They'll summon Booster, and then what? This guy again! I cannot believe this is coming up twice. They're going to pop our back row and then go for the Wakaushi and Scale. They'll go for the Scale effect and big P.U.N.K. We just got to stop them from getting to the souls here. I'm going to Ash Blossom. And they say, once again, I am completely capable of playing the Samurai turn. They're going into Scarecrow in order to trigger the Peacemaker. They're going to bring back this copy of Piercer. They're going to go for the Peacemaker here, targeting this copy of Scarecrow, then Peacemaker effect to summon a copy of Spy. From here, they can activate Spy to... Oh, no. Wait. Don't take that card. They're going to Tunnel her to draw a couple of cards. Oh, my goodness. One of those is pretty good. They'll go to the battle phase and attack while in defense position, then pass back to us. At least our life points are low enough now. There's a spell. Okay, we're going to begin with Nitro Head. It is responded to with an anti-spell fragrance. We're going to go for the Baller afterwards, summoning it, and then we will normal summon an Ash Blossom to make Pep. We'll go for Pep. We're going to go ahead and banish both the anti-spell fragrance and this Roller Baller before going to the battle phase and triggering the effect of the Pep to walk over that nuisance. We'll go for Better Luck next time now in order to get a copy of Leon. We'll trigger the effect of the Leon and the Leon on field to bring back this Nitro Head. We are still in it. They're going to Nibiru the board, but unfortunately, our copy of Pep does get to stay around. A Pep and a Dream, folks. How many times has Gold Pride been here? Our opponent's got a lot of stuff, but I don't know if they have an out. They're going to go for Bike. Afterwards, they're going to normal summon a copy of Soul Piercer to go to another Scarecrow. They'll Soul Piercer in order to grab another copy of Wakaushi. They'll Scarecrow in order to get back this copy of Soul Piercer, then big P.U.N.K for a second Soul Peacemaker. Sheesh. They're going to go Soul Peacemaker on this Scarecrow in order to summon from deck a copy of Scales. Scales is going to grab a copy of Bike from the graveyard, and then we'll trigger the on-field effect of Bike. Afterwards, we're going to go for Ass Dragon. I mean, maybe there's like a 10 that does it. They're going to trigger the effect in order to bring back Bike, and then go into Baron de Fleur. Next, they're going to go Soul Claw onto Scales. They're going to trigger the effect of the Soul Claw to summon itself, and then make Genius. Genius doesn't do it. My monster is still unaffected. He'll summon 2, but they already have the Genius target in hand in Regulus, and... Oh, no! All right, scoop him up. So we're back with the deck, and, well, beating everything but the CYAC heavy hitters is good, right? Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1. Start Your Engines is one of the most powerful traps ever printed, made doubly powerful by the fact that this card does not have a once per turn. 2. Chariot Carry gives the P.U.N.K side of the engine a way to access the prides. No more will you draw the wrong half of your deck. And 3. Nitro Head is an in-engine way to prevent your opponent from evenly matching you. Against a cash player, the token does a lot of work. And the cons. 1. Outside of Pinballer, a lot of the interruptions in this deck target, including Start Your Engines. Pearly, therefore, is a problem if they have access to the field spell. 2. It's Droll format, and you love searching. Droll can be devastating to a large amount of hands in this deck, and sometimes you can't play around it just because of how the prides work. And 3. The prides themselves can be bricky. If you don't open a life point manipulation card, Rollerballer and Nitro Head just kind of sit there. All in all, this deck is one to watch out for. It probably won't be the same tier as Pearly, Super Heavies, or Cash Tira, but it can and will compete. Thanks so much for watching. A huge shouts out to all my patrons, but specifically Elena Tincher, Alex Perea, Allison Elliott, Apocalypse978, Brett Henry, Bizen Queen, Chaotic Meatball, Kristen Malone, Crispy, Da Bears, Darkmaster Zork, DJ Elephant, Executive Slifer, John Piet, Jordan Kuntz, King Magic Ruler, Night Mary, Luis Hernandez, Materiality, MBT Play Madolce, Mike Carlotti, NH6574, Puffins of Doom, Rose Lapine, Soft Dough, Solar Flare, The Hollow King, Tootsie, Troy Says By Erasure is Gay, Vincent Storm, Wonder Waffle, Yuki, and Yor. I couldn't have done it without you.